You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
So there you have it. Stay woke. Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? Hey, welcome back for another episode of Coffee Shop Chatter. I'm Mr. Controversy. So everyone knows, Tim Walz. He's been selected as the VP for Kamala Harris. She picked her identical twin. Literally, she picked someone who thinks like she thinks. So you have she she can't, apparently she don't believe in securing the border. Apparently he doesn't care about securing the border as well, because if he did, he wouldn't have passed a bill that allows illegal immigrants in his state to get a driver's license, which transitions into, hey, you need an ID. Like Georgia just passed a bill. Now you have to have an ID. Well, they didn't pass that bill for the ID. They passed, so now they can have people there to watch the count, which I think every state should do that. There should be someone at every location where they count the votes to make sure things is going the way it's supposed to be going. But states to where you have to show some type of ID, like Texas, I know for our local, and that's what I hate about some states, is your local, elections, you have to show your ID. Everything else, for you would think, when you talk about, your senators, your congressmen and women, the president, you should have to show an ID to show that you're an actual U.S. citizen. I still don't understand why they haven't came up with an ID card yet. It ain't that hard. Like, literally, this is what we use. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we actually have ID card. What it is, it has a little chip here, and it contains your information. They can do the same thing when you start making driver's license or ID cards with your voter information on there. There should be no reason that you have to keep registering the vote. That's something else I don't understand. But hey, they gotta keep it somewhat illegal. Put a few roadblocks in there for you. So he wants to allow illegals to have driver's license as well, which is why in certain states, why your car insurance is so high, because you have people without a license, that have a license, but they don't have insurance, causing accidents, and they will flee. Like, if you ever down in El Paso, if you see somebody with a Chihuahua type license plate, get away from them, because they will hit you and book it because they don't have insurance. But that's something, Tim Walz. So they are like two peas in the pods. There's some good things he did, like the free lunch stuff for the kids, stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that he's on par with Kamala, which isn't. That's not good. So his big thing people's trying to say is, hey, he served in the military, and I think she did it. I don't know why she didn't choose the other guy. Well, I know why. It had the whole thing with Israel and him being Jewish and a comment that he made. But she chose him because he was in the National Guard. Now, I don't have nothing against National Guard or reserve folks, but they're not active duty. Training is totally different. What we do compared to what they do is two different worlds. JD Vance, he deployed. He went in the Marines, deployed. But this Joker, matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm gonna let somebody that actually knows him tell the story.
Abandon us, what the hell kind of leader does that? He just as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit. For Pete's sake, if this guy quit, if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that? If a company would say that we're going to deploy to Iraq or somewhere and you're going to be gone for whatever amount of time, and then a foreman just says, no, I'm not going. I mean, what does that say to the 500 people that work in that factory there? You know, when he was a congressman, he bragged that he was a retired command sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House, and, you know, all this lie that he was telling. The state of Minnesota came out after 2018, after this was exposed, and they said, well, he can say that he served as a command sergeant major, but he can't say he's a retired one because he's not.
And that's what he was saying.
And he was saying that, and there was lots of lots of cards coming in the mail, you know, for him to be elected. They said right on there he's a retired command sergeant major, just tooting his own horn, just hanging on the coattails of people that actually are command sergeant majors that went through all the process and put all the time in. It's stolen valor is really what it is. I don't know of anybody else that's done what he's done. But we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
So, for the people that don't know, in the Army, we have a sergeant major, which is a SGM, and then you have your CSM, which is your command sergeant major. Your command sergeant major is they're usually a battalion, brigade, division. They're at every echelon, but their counterpart is either a full-bird colonel, a one-star general, two-star general on up. There's always a command sergeant major that's with them. They are the ones who are in charge, to an extent, of your enlisted guys. They're the ones who give directives. They're the ones who lets the first, talk to the first sergeant. So if you're a battalion command sergeant major, you're letting the first sergeants know, hey, this is the commander's guidance, which is a full-bird colonel. And then the first sergeants, they're the ones who move the batteries or the companies. So he was in the position of a command sergeant major. So the lie was, he said he only did a re-enlistment for 4 years, which in reality it was he actually did for 6 years. And when it came time for them to deploy, which as a command sergeant major, you deploy with your unit. Either you're going to go first and the colonel is going to go last, or vice versa. Sometimes the colonel will go first, sergeant major will go last. And that's just to oversee, to make sure people are moving. Or he may go with the colonel, stay for a while, and come back. But he never went. So pretty much he probably didn't even push his fucking people out the door. And somehow he found his way to get out of it. And I guess that's when he jumped in, full-time politics or whatever he did. But for him to say that he's a retired command sergeant major, yes, that is considered stolen valor. You are only a retired sergeant major, because when you retire, you get to keep that rank on your uniform. When you look at it, there is a difference between the two. So it's no different than, as E7, if I was in the E8 position. It doesn't matter. I'm a retired E7. Same thing as a captain. I was in the major position before I made major. I got rated as a major, but I was a captain. So, me personally, you're a piece of shit in my book. If you are that type of person that you're a leader and you're at the you're considered the top of the echelon when you're talking about seniors, and you're supposed to deploy with your people, and you abandon them, because that's what I look at as you abandon them, you're a piece of shit in my book. I'm sorry. You are trash. I volunteered to go on deployments because I just like deploying. To me, I look at it, that's what I get paid for. That's my job. I like deploying. Plus, it gets you out of, you ain't doing a lot of the BS that you're doing in the rear. So a lot of people do like getting deployed, especially when you're single. So yeah, I'm pretty sure when he debates JD Vance, that's going to come up. I guarantee when they have a rally, it's going to come up. Trump ain't going to be the one that's going to say it because people's going to talk about how he dodged. Oh, well, he dodged going to the military. I'll put it this way. I would have more respect for someone who does that because they didn't want to join. There's a lot of people out there that never want to put the uniform on. And if it came down when they start drafting, it'd be a bunch of reasons why a lot of people, it's like, hey, well, I can't go because I got this. Or, we've had soldiers do some things to themselves. I had a soldier break his foot with a cinder block because he didn't want to get deployed. We had one soldier that had his cousin put a round in his leg because he didn't want to deploy. He didn't want to go to Iraq. So that's what he did. So I look at it as all of us who join, we know what comes with it. We know what it comes with. We know it's a possibility we're going to go to war. We know it's a possibility that we may not come back. We know that. We go into it knowing that. So him, especially you a command sergeant major, you got some time in. So it means you was a coward. You had privates and their privates a little bit older than ours most times, but still 18, 19-year-olds who probably didn't want to go, but still end up going. And somehow you find a way to sneak out of it. But hey, go and hit that subscribe button. I like to hear what your thoughts are on her pick. What is your thoughts on someone who, especially you served in the military, you a veteran? What is your thoughts on someone who does that, who bounces on their people? No, don't even finish. Didn't even finish his contract, but bounced on his people, on the soldiers. So that's all I got. No, this is gonna be interesting. So y'all take care, and I'm out of here.